Hello, I'm Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Brianna Jones.
All right, and welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get musical haters like Bree and Andrew to like musical theater. And today...
That's like me.
Yes, exactly like you guys. And today we have another returning wonderful guest. She is the co-writer and editor of Lindsay Ellis and frequent guest of her podcast on Musical Splaining. We have Angelina Meehan.
Yay! Hi guys, thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to be here.
It's been so long. It's so nice to hear your voice again.
Oh, thank you. The sweet dulcet tones of a 32-year-old.
I mean, we've been enjoying your tweets, we've been enjoying your Instagram posts, but we haven't enjoyed you on our podcast in a good while.
Oh,
until now.
Yes.
Now.
Yes, it has been something missed from this show. I'm not gonna lie, it's been something that we've missed. Almost like a father who isn't really our father, but claims to be an uncle of sorts that just kind of takes care of us while we live in the basement.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's our father.
It's
I've known.
like,
Angelina's eyes are our eyes, you know.
yeah, it's sometimes a dad is not a dad, but then he becomes a dad last minute for emotional payoff.
Sometimes your dad is just the friends you made along the way.
Sometimes your dad is just kind of the guy that passively left you to linger in a basement. And didn't ever go maybe I should help him out.
Well, he did help him out. He just was like, here's a mask.
Here's a mask. So you can hide your face.
Angelina gave me, Bree, and Andrew masks so that we didn't have to show our horrendous, horrible sea monster-looking faces.
Yeah, I did that, and I gave you a book of William Blake poetry and said, figure it out, kid.
Here's a mask so I don't have to see your face since I'm going to hide you in a basement and no one else can see it anyways.
Yeah.
So
just you deal with those feelings that brings up.
All right, we've edged long enough. Angelina, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about more Yeston and Arthur Kopit's musical Phantom, sometimes subtitled as An American Sensation. Which thoughts about that?
All my life to be waiting for an angel to one day speak. Mouth goes dry and my knees grow weak at each word, each sound, that voice, that music in the air, every choice, every syllable, each note, how they float, and her tone, a miracle of silk.
Yeah, I guess it premiered in the Theater Under the Stars in Houston in 1991, I believe, and it has never made it to Broadway for a lot of reasons. But
it's still very, very, it's well received.
Yeah, I think they've used the bragging point, the most popular show no one's ever heard of, because before they released the rights for, high schools and colleges and other theaters to do Angel Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera, this was the one that high schools and colleges would do because the rights were available for it. So I've seen a lot of high school performances of this. And there's money in that.
They tell all their parents, hey, we're doing Phantom of the Opera. And they're like, wait, that wasn't what I thought.
Yeah, well, actually, the funny thing is my mom, I remember I have this very clear, my first time ever hearing about this show, long before I ever got into that fandom, which we'll put a pin in that, my mom was like, oh, I'm going to go see Phantom of the Opera. And she went and saw a production of this. And I think she thought it was going to be the Andrew Lloyd Webber version. And she came back and she was like, yeah.
I don't get the hype.
Yeah.
Damn.
She's like, that's it? Because we, years later, 3 years ago, we were watching the 25th anniversary of the Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantom. And my mom was like, oh, I like this. I thought this was not that. And I'm like, damn, what a life. Can you imagine if my mom had actually seen Angela Webber's Phantom? What would my childhood be like? Everything would be fundamentally changed.
Would it though?
I don't know. No, probably not. But still, it's fun to think about. But
did she learn to keep you in the basement and then not talk to you and then just leave you down there?
Yeah, she was like, you know what? There's the 7 habits of highly effective kids, and it's throwing them in a basement. I had a very lonely childhood. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my first memory of this show before I even knew about it. once I found out about the show as a teenager, I was like, oh, that's the Phantom that my mom saw, and then never took me to see Phantom on Broadway because she was like, no, I've seen that and I didn't like it. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I've always known the Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantom, and through the context of this show, which is about showing a musical theater hater how to like musical theater, I forced Andrew to watch this show, and we talked about it with Elisa Hansen, I think you know.
Yeah.
And we watched that and Love Never Dies with. So that is Andrew's experience with Phantom.
Wow.
So I am super curious. I am like on the edge of my seat. What does he like better, Andrew Lloyd Webber's or Yeston and Kopit's Phantom?
I feel like they're both kind of like a similar level of quality, just kind of okay. I wasn't really a huge fan of Webber's Phantom.
Sure.
And Love Never Dies makes it worse,
Yes.
so it's harder to watch. It's harder to watch it after you've seen Love Never Dies.
I agree with that.
But this one is okay.
That's
I like some of the stuff they added.
I like this better than Andrew Lloyd Webber's is my hot take for today, guys.
I think I might have to agree that I think I like this one a little bit more.
I'm here. We're gonna have a hot one here because I gotta disagree, and I don't want to sound like an Andrew Lloyd Webber apologist, but we'll get into it.
You probably love Cats too.
No, I don't. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like
You're
you
gonna
just
talk
have
about
good
the prospects
memories.
aspect of love and how great that is. The Woman in White. Oh, it's
oh,
underrated
it's
classic.
so good. I love The Woman in White. Getting to see Michael Ball in a fat suit, Michael Crawford in a fat. That's just what I always wanted to see.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Starlight Express. Hell yeah.
I love Thomas the Tank Engine. Of course I love that.
Coked up Thomas the Tank Engine is fantastic stuff. I think a lot of people think that I actually really do love Andrew Lloyd Webber just because I talk so much about Phantom and Cats, and that's kind of the brand. And no, not really. But like I like the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical better as a fan of the fandom, I guess.
I think my next question is, what don't you like about the Yeston and Kopit version?
I think it's too tonally like mismatched.
All right, and explain.
I feel like so Phantom of the Opera, the book, which is like, you know, my ride or die, is like it's a
Same.
potboiler mystery gothic horror novel, and this is just kind of like stripped of all of that makes it interesting. Like to me it feels too soft, like it's too like there's no teeth to it, and then so you have like this kind of Jerry Herman music that like I don't know, it just feels too.
But Jerry Herman's my shit.
I know, but like I just don't think tonally it works with like something like a property like Phantom, and that's my hot take. And like
I don't know. I feel like both of them are too soft. I mean, you got this murder man, and he's just like a love interest. Like they're both kind of soft. I want to see more slasher stuff. Freddy Krueger as the
watch
Phantom.
the Robert Englund version.
yeah, go for the Robert Englund one. Phantom of the Paradise is the best Phantom adaptation because it like just leans into all the totally wacky horror, serial killer, fun, goofy shit, glam rock aesthetic.
I feel like
it's so good.
It is really
in this
good.
one, they don't play up the weird romance element as much,
Yeah.
and they have the father figure, which I actually feel like I like better.
Really? See, it's like this fundamental thing about how you like, I guess, that character, because when you give him like a support system, I think it kind of robs him of the mystery and intrigue, you know? Like, it's just like, who is he now? He's just kind of an ugly guy that's got a dad that likes him, and he just hangs out, and you know,
You
it's
see,
like
that's
he's
what I
a
like,
horrible
though. I like
person
that he's a
who
human
murders
in this
people.
version. He's a person with
He's a
a personality.
He's a
His
terrible
relationship
person
with,
who murders
with Christine
people, but-
makes sense. There's consensual, like, and a consent behind that.
I get, see, and that, like, I know a lot of people like this show, the Yeston and Kopit version, just because of that element. And I get that 100%. Like, they feel like more of a, where would the romantic tension be? Like, but it's just like, Christine also sucks in this, like, but she also sucks in the Andrew Lloyd Webber version too. Like, she has no backbone. She's just kind of like, la la la. And then, like, she's like hyped herself up to see this guy, you know, she's like, you know what, I don't care what he looks like, I can do it. And she fucks it up like so hard. Like, I'm just like, girl, you could have been upset, but you straight up just like run away. You could have just been like, let me have a moment.
It's hilarious.
Let me.
though.
It's hilarious, exactly. And so like it like kind of like destroys like I don't know, like it's so tonally all over. Like nothing. Everything's
I
up in
want to
the
know
air.
what his face looks like. Who is so ugly that someone runs away from them when they see them?
But it works because we don't see the face. Like, we can't be like, oh, I wouldn't have run away from that because we'll never know.
I don't.
Is he like a flaming skull underneath his mask?
He looks like he's got like a giraffe face under there. No, I like to sit and think. Like, part of me has always debated, like, is this laziness or is it a good artistic decision? And
I think it's a good artistic decision.
I lean towards that, but like, it also is just like he got it. Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard. I do like that, like, they don't show it, because then you have something like Love Never Dies where, like, they don't even care. Like, the deformity's like a non-issue in Love Never Dies at this point, you know? And it's just like,
what do you mean? The son doesn't love him because he's scary, and then he loves him.
And then he loves him. Like, it's such a non-issue. Like, he screams, and then he's like, wait, I'm okay with this now.
There's beauty underneath, guys.
The beauty underneath, guys. Like,
the beauty underneath.
Not everyone can be like Christine, everyone.
Inside.
The funniest line in any show ever. I carry that with me to the grave. Yeah, it's just kind of, there are things I do like about this show. I will say that. Like, this isn't like the worst show ever or even like a bad show. It's just like kind of not for me, if that makes sense.
But that's kind of the thing. I think Andrew Lloyd Webber show isn't for me, and this one is much more for me because it is a classic musical.
It is very much
a musical, and I love musicals, like, in the traditional sense. This has a classical I Want song. The Phantom is a character. Christine and the Phantom have a deep relationship that you understand why it is. It is not a predatory relationship at first, and I don't ever think it becomes one of those. I get, when she says she loves the Phantom, I get why she would. Mm-hmm. It makes sense to me. And also, it just has moments that make me want to sob, and nothing in Phantom, Andrew Lloyd Webber, makes me want to sob. Like, the Phantom curled up in his dad's arms, like, asking to be buried deep so no one can put his corpse on display is heartbreaking.
It is, but then it's like these big, sorry, I'm like, I have feelings. It's like the big cheesy, the strings don't work for me. It's just like too, like, I'll never put you on display. You know, it just is like, it sounds silly to me. I don't know.
Have you seen the Charles Dance movie? I'm curious.
Yes, I have. I've seen it multiple times. I think it's kind of, a lot of the things that I don't particularly enjoy about the musical kind of are the same there, but like it works a little bit better because it doesn't
I disagree. I think this works better than the Charles Dance musical.
You say potato, I say potato on this. Like, I don't know.
Now there's a movie I was supposed to watch. I didn't even come
It's like 3 hours long. You aren't getting that.
Yeah,
you get enough with the musical.
Yeah, it's 3 hours long. It is shot at the Opera House, the Opera Garnier.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous looking, and it stars Charles Dance, aka Tywin Lannister, aka Daddy. So like that's a big bonus for it. But it is also like way too goddamn long.
Can you give us some history about what happened with why there is a film or TV miniseries that is this musical?
Yeah.
And yes, I'll let you do that.
So if I've gotten something wrong here, feel free to correct it. My understanding of it is that in the 80s, I can't remember the producer's name, but he had bought the rights to Phantom of the Opera in America, and he had the rights for them for 2 years. And Yeston and Arthur Kopit were, putting together this show. They were hot off the heels of 9, rather. Sorry, 8.5.
Yes.
Of 9. And so they had that. It was really exciting. It was great. Meanwhile, over in London, Phantom is public domain. Nobody owns it. And so there's another musical version of Phantom, the Ken Hill one, that is floating in the background.
It's bad.
It's so bad. It's bad. So, like, whatever I say about Phantom that I don't like, it's still a perfectly fine show. Ken Hill's Phantom,
different sides of this Phantom. Yeah. We agree that Ken Hill's is so fucking bad.
The Ken Hill one is shitty. It's almost irredeemably shitty.
David Stoller comes first.
Oh, David Stoller! Oh, the David Stoller one's so good. There's so many versions of Phantom.
That one, Angelina.
Yes, I'm so excited. It's so doofy. Andrew Lloyd Webber sees the Ken Hill version and then gets the idea, to do his own version of it. Originally, he was just going to produce the Ken Hill one, but then he's like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm going to write my own version."
That sounds like Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
It super is. It's very it's very Machiavellian. Meanwhile, the show opens in 1986 in the UK, and it's a big ass hit, and it's already moving to Broadway, and Morius and Arthur Kopit see it, and they're like, "Well, it's a very different show, but it's just not worth the effort right now to try and make this happen." So Arthur Kopit, who is writing the book for this, shops this over to NBC, and in 1990 they make a NBC miniseries out of it starring Charles Dance, Terry Polo, Burt Lancaster in his last film role, and it does.
And he's so good in it.
He's so good.
He's so fucking good in it.
He's just a sweet old man. You're like, oh.
He plays it so much better than anyone has ever played in the Broadway version. He plays it so sincere.
I love it. Or are we talking about
stage version, not
Charles Dancer?
No, Burt Lancaster.
Burt Lancaster, yes.
I think Charles Dance does a terrible job.
Charles Dance is doing like this weird American accent, and it's just like it could have worked so much better if you just did your Charles Dance voice.
British?
You have such a nice speaking voice. Why would they do that?
And everyone else is talking in French accent, and then Charles Dance is like, I don't understand. She can't sing.
He's doing that thing that British actors do when they're being American, where they're like over enunciating their R's really hard, and it's just like awkward.
And
he like cock teases taking off his mask. Like he has a mask on top of a mask.
There's all this like switcheroo, like. Come on, I hate to reference Family Guy, but one of the few Family Guys jokes that has ever made me like belly laugh is when they go and see the Phantom, and Peter's like, "Come on, I want to see that. Take it off. I want to see that nose. It better be Piggy," you know. And it's just like, yes, like the TV version of this does that a lot. It just like teases like you're gonna see some ugly, and it's just like silly and cheap and strange. But yeah, so that happens. It is a mild success for NBC made for TV programming.
Made a lot of Emmys. Won a lot of Emmys.
It did, and so they're like, well, great. There's like renewed interest in this. Maybe we should get back to producing it, and then they do, and it debuts in Houston in 1991. Either that or 1990. It's 1990 or 1991. Probably 1991.
Now, if you let me indulge for a second, let me read some reviews of that.
Oh boy.
Which I find very
we got
interesting.
The review segments.
And I don't do this very often unless like Ben Brantley steps in because Ben Brantley's a piece of shit. Yeah, fuck Ben Brantley.
Let's just say it. There you go.
But every one of them compares it positively to Andrew Lloyd Webber's show. Mr. Kopit's Phantom is no less bravura than Lord Lloyd Webber's, and he is far more affecting. Mr. Yeston's sophisticated score is the model of how a loving assortment of classical forms can make popular theater music bloom. Mr. Yeston's music charms and effervescence, valuing. It basically says it's great. It tops.
Basically says the music is phenomenal.
It tops Webber's ambiguous ending, which I agree with, as well as a bunch of folks from, I think it is the London production of Phantom when it finally premiered there instead of like just the American. It compares Andrew Lloyd Webber's production as being humdrum. The Phantom is altogether more engaging than Andrew Lloyd Webber's. It is tighter and more intimate and informed by more human sympathy. While it doesn't produce the kind of melodic swap of glamour Andrew Lloyd Webber does, it rises. In the second act to genuine emotional fervor, Eric is altogether more engaging and believable than Andrew Lloyd Webber's skulker, as he describes it. And I agree with that. I feel like I actually give a shit about what happens to the Phantom, where he is scary, angry murderer man who hides in the mirror and stalks a young woman.
Stockholm Syndrome, the musical.
It's not Stockholm Syndrome, because I don't think Christine ever falls in love with the Phantom and Andrew Lloyd Webber. Let me be clear. But this works better as an actual proper romance. Love Never Dies doesn't count either. Don't you dare bring that up.
They made a baby, literally.
They fucked, but she couldn't see his face, so it's okay.
Yeah, they did it in the... You know, it's romantic, where it was like, yeah, I fucked you, and it was in the dark, and I couldn't see your face. Man, what a passionate night we had. Like,
Love Never Dies is canon, I'm just saying.
I know, that's what kills
100%
me. Like,
canon.
You can't unsee... Like, you can't go back from where you've come from. It's like when you're like Frodo, and you come back to the Shire... after going to Mordor, you're just changed. And honestly, like, yeah, like Love Never Dies has done that to Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom with me. It's just like, you can't help like look at Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom and go 10 years old and think if we're not all like Christine, you know.
But
like,
it's setting up a threequel with Ron and Phantom raising the baby.
I would
brought
watch
this up when we had Christy on.
I would love that. Like, I would sincerely be so down for like a My Two Dads.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh, man. You can't say that to Andrew Lloyd Webber. He will literally dig up Phantom's corpse and try to make money off of it until the day he dies. Like,
now,
I've accepted it. We all should accept it. We're going to get My Two Dads. Never Dies.
I'm down for that.
I hope so.
But I do want to
bring
bring Bree into this for a moment. I'm very curious because I'm pretty sure she has seen the Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantom before.
I haven't actually.
What?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
then.
you can't bring me in. I actually haven't seen it. I told you I don't watch a lot of musical theater.
I wish you had seen this version of Phantom so you could like it more.
Jess, I'm on your side here.
I know you're on my side.
You can bring me in.
All right, Andrew, I'm tapping you in.
We're debate central here.
All right. I feel like it's one-sided because you and I are on this side. But there's so many things that are like so much higher than Andrew Lloyd Webber's. Where Andrew Lloyd Webber's has technically the Chandelier Fall is more grandiose. The music does have a little bit more oomph to it. But this has the flashback ballet that makes me cry.
Oh, it is. I do like the flashback ballet. Like, it is really.
Did this show get sued by Pink Floyd, though?
This one?
No, it did not.
No.
Nor
there
did it
you
get
go.
sued by Puccini Estates. So.
Yeah, or the
Really?
Puccini Estate, yeah. So it does have that going on it. I'm like actually surprised, like with all the singing waiters, that Jerry Herman didn't like be like, okay, look, I have to send you a cease and desist. This is not Hello Dolly.
But Christine has a personality. I understand what she's about. She doesn't just stare
barely.
into the
To be
void.
fair, Christine is pretty bland.
I think this Christine is really, really bland. And that makes me.
gonna
I don't
fight.
think there's ever been a really good Christine, in my opinion. Because like
You know who I like, though, is the other singer, who I can't remember.
Carlotta, yes,
Carlotta.
So
She's really good in this.
we have no choice but to stand. I love Carlotta in this. One of my favorite like songs is like "This Place Is Mine." Like that is such a fun song. I
love
fuck
that
with
she
this song.
squeals the ending of every song, just be like, oh, she's not good at singing, get it?
Yeah.
Like she sings really well
Yeah.
and then squeals the last note, so we all know, oh, it was bad.
Right,
okay.
yeah, she's obnoxious. Yeah. I know, like, on the cast recording for this show, Meg Bussard, who plays her, she's a different woman than the woman on this, who's also fantastic, would, like, purposefully, like, just kind of, like, be slightly off-key in some of the notes, and it's just, like, that's beautiful. Like, that takes so much skill and talent to sound off-key, but at that, like, velocity. It's just, like, I love that song. And I love the woman in this production. She's fabulous. Like, there's a moment where she throws water on somebody's face, and it's just, like, so good. Like, just deadpan. Whoever you are, lady, thank you. You're fantastic in this show. Like, she steals it for me.
How do we not stand Gaston Phantom?
That's like the uncanny thing for it. Kind of hits Uncanny Valley because it's hard not to hear Richard White's voice and not immediately go, "Oh, Gaston!" Like it's just.
I mean,
he's the opposite of Gaston.
Yeah,
he's ugly.
Role reversal.
Let me say
Except
the
for he's
least
still a
Gaston role
murderer
he's ever
and
played
horrible.
that I've the least Gaston role he's ever played that I've seen him in is Frank Wildhorn's Jekyll and Hyde when it was on tour.
Oh,
he played he played the dad character.
I thought he was
Not
going to play Jekyll.
No,
Oh, you thought it was going to be really good.
No, it is like the most boring
Jekyll
role,
and Hyde
the only
is
time
always
Yeah.
always disappoints.
Jekyll and Hyde is never. It's never what you. Yeah, it's always.
It's always disappointing.
I love Jekyll and Hyde in a way.
Jess has seen it like 15
I have
times.
seen it more times than I've seen most musicals.
Wow.
It is a bad musical, but I love
It's
watching
such
it.
a bad. I mean, it is like a fun bad musical. Like it
Yes.
is like I could happily watch Jekyll and Hyde because it sucks, but it sucks in a really fun way. You know, like
I don't know. It's pretty boring.
the first act is pretty boring until it gets to like Jekyll. Yeah, like and
Yeah,
Hyde.
that takes way too freaking long. I can't sit through that shit.
It does. Oh, but it has Murder, which is like the best, worst song ever written. Like
But
I
they've
think
changed it recently. Like for the new Broadway production, it's like murder instead of murder. It's just like very
Oh, don't
long.
make it-
no, we came here
make it
for
bad.
murder. What was once done can't be undone. Done in London. The best lyrics ever written.
Have you guys
Oh,
ever
no.
seen like Frank Wildhorn in an interview?
No, I
No.
never have.
He is very much a songwriter first. He like wrote for Whitney Houston and all that, and that was where he started. And he like talks about sports and makes sports analogies like throughout all of it. And he's just like, I'm a guy for hire, like whatever, I'll write whatever.
You know what
They
that
want
I
a song
imagine
like this, I'll
he's
write it.
me if I wrote musicals. I feel like that's
that makes sense because you listen to like This Is the Moment and it sounds like a montage for like the Olympics.
Yes.
Like, it totally has, like, that energy to it. But it gave us Linda Eder, so I'm, like, okay with it.
Well, any song in Jekyll and Hyde you can put to the Olympics, because all of them are generic enough where they kind of can be about anything.
Yeah.
Unlike Phantom, an American sensation, which every song is very specifically about a plot point, unlike someone like Andrew Lloyd Webber, who writes very important pop songs that can pop onto the top 40 radio, and has nothing to do with the plot, aside from the Richard Stilgoe music lyrics, which are very important.
Yeah. Oh, man. Wait, are you telling me that, like, when I talk about the music of the night, you don't think, like, oh, wait, this is about, like, a deformed man living in the basement?
No, Music of the Night is a 5-minute song about nothing.
It's about a penis. How
It's
dare
about
you?
nothing.
How dare you? Music of the Night is about a wee-wee. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
I hate Music of the Night so much. It is
man.
5 minutes goddamn long. No song in any musical needs to be 5 minutes goddamn long.
Tell
no
that to
solo
Steven
in a musical needs to be 5
Sondheim's putting it together. Thank you very much. Good day, sir. No.
That is broken up by dialogue that pushes the quote-unquote plot forward.
Yeah. Talk about someone in a tree.
Someone in a tree is very much pushing plot forward. We're learning a lot of information. Andrew Lloyd Webber can not do Someone in a Tree. Sondheim can do Music of the Night, but Andrew Lloyd Webber cannot do Someone in a Tree.
Yeah, that's true.
Or putting it
I mean,
together.
he basically wrote Passion, which is like what you get if Sondheim wrote Phantom of the Opera. So
I pitched that, and everyone said I was wrong a couple weeks ago.
No, that's totally true. Like, he did write Phantom of the Opera. It's Passion. There you go.
I was like,
yeah, pretty much.
my literal comparison
Gender
was, this is Sondheim trying to do Lloyd Webber, and everyone was like, no, you're an idiot.
You are correct. You are, like, 100% correct. Like, I'm gonna, like, we're gonna agree on that too. But like, there are things I do really, really like about this show, and I think there are a couple of like really great songs. Like I really do like, as much as like Raul always sucks. Like, that character is never good in any adaptation to Phantom. Like, he's always just like, I don't know. He's either really boring or he's a dick, you know. And it's like,
He's pretty good in the Robert Englund one.
oh yeah, he is. Does he? I forget if he dies in that one. Does
He
die in that
does. He
one?
burns
Yeah.
to death and gets
That's right.
stabbed.
That's
It's
right.
the Robert
Spoilers.
Englund one. Of course he dies.
Yeah.
Everybody probably dies.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Christine is the final girl, and yeah.
That movie's so fucking good. Like, it's not a good movie.
No,
but I love that
it's
movie
I
so
love
much.
that movie. That movie's fantastic. It's so
Okay,
Is it just Nightmare on Elm Street,
It
like
kinda
part
is.
kind of, yeah.
Phantom?
Yeah, it's got all the great, like, really cheesy 80s, like, Nightmare on Elm Street
One-liners.
gore and one-liners. Yeah, there's always like a pun, and like, there's like a really great scene where he's like having, like, it's the one rare horror movie where like someone's having sex with a prostitute or a sex worker, and the sex worker does not get killed. Like, he like treats her to a nice night, and she's like, wow, that was amazing, and then he like goes off and kills somebody else. So it was like woke points for the Robert
Nice.
Englund Phantom.
Angelina, I am very curious because I don't get many Phantom fans on this because I'm often talking to Andrew, who is like,
Hi.
who is him. What is your favorite Phantom adaptations?
My favorite Phantom adaptations are, I love the Phantom of Paradise. See, I think my thing with like Phantom adaptations is like, I like it when they lean into the fact that it's kind of glam rock campy horror, you know, like, which is why I like the Andrew Lloyd Webber one. It kind of has like that 80s new romantic thing going for it. But Phantom of the Paradise is my favorite. I love the Lon Chaney film, and those are like probably my two favorites. But I love the book. The book is my boo.
I hate the book. I really,
I get it. No, I get it. Like, I 100%. It's not a good book, but I love it.
I love the Susan K book with its issues.
Yeah, you're opening up a can of worms.
I mean, I gotta ask here, why is there so many musical adaptations of this story?
I think
Because the rights
I
were
don't
going
even
up
think
at the
it
same
suits
time,
it.
and everyone had the same idea.
yeah.
I don't even think it suits musical very well, though, other than just that it's in an opera house.
Well, I think that was like one of the reasons why they stalled so long on like getting this one, the Yeston and Kopit one, off the ground. Was like there was debate. Like, this doesn't really seem like it's like worthy of a musical, you know? And I think
It's kind of not.
it is about a serial killer, you know, an ugly stalker serial killer, you know, ruining this young woman's life.
I liked the murder scenes in this one, namely the part where he electrocutes the person to death.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty
Carlotta.
funny.
Poor.
I thought that was funny.
He gave it.
It's like in Amazing Spider-Man 2 when they shocked the staircase.
You would probably love the Phantom of Paradise. It's directed by Brian De Palma, and this is like Brian De Palma in the 70s, so it's like extra cocaine-y. And
I think Andrew would just love Beef in that movie.
Beef is like the best. Beef is like the Carlotta of that, and he's like this David Bowie, but his name is Beef. Yeah, like just beefy David Bowie, vaguely offensive.
The music is deeply affecting in that. Like, you got the Faust song, which is wonderful, and then everything else is like, eh.
You don't like Christine's little weird, like, caught up in your wheeling dealing. Like, I love it. I love it.
I love that as a film, but I kind of hate it as a musical, if that makes sense.
It's not like good as a musical, but I think it's like a fun, like, campy horror film in the style of like Rocky Horror.
This musical is a perfect musical in a way that Andrew Lloyd Webber's isn't really a musical.
Oh, I guess it's just like, yeah, it's a matter of, I was not going to say taste, because you have a lot of taste, and so do I.
I was about to say, like, I feel like I'm pretty tasteless. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I was trying to be a nice guest here. It's like, your opinions are shit. There's a terrible show. It's a garbage show.
The only thing we have in common is our love of great comedy. Aside from that, you should die.
They're both really mediocre.
We're able to meet. So, you know what? In a way, I will agree with you on that, Andrew. Like, they're both mediocre. They're just different shades.
There's just much better shows out there.
Let me say this, Angelina. I want to see if you agree with this statement.
Okay.
It takes a really good set of leads to make The Phantom of the Opera by Andrew Lloyd Webber work. Mm-hmm. Anyone can make Phantom of the Opera by Yeston and Kopit work.
I can agree with that.
And that's why I think Yeston and Kopit is a better source of material.
I see that, yeah. Like, because, like, the last time I saw it on Broadway, I was just like, oh, like, put this show out of its misery, please. Like, because Christine was working so hard, and, like, the Phantom was just like, you know.
Can I tell a story about when I saw the most recent tour? Have you ever seen the touring production?
The tour is bad. The new tour.
It is depressingly bad.
It's quite bad. I took my husband to see it. He had never seen Phantom live, and he was like, this is what you were like? This is what you like? I was just like, no, God. You know, the anniversary tour with like the retooled sets are just, it's just like,
what are they doing?
It's awful.
The give Webber more money tour? Is that
yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like,
Cameron McIntosh more money
we
tour.
gotta stretch this out for another 20 years tour. It's bad.
I felt so bad for the actors, forcing them to do things that their performance is not expected to. Like, he like strangles Christine at some point, and I'm like, the performance you were giving up to this point does not support what you're doing right now.
Yeah, like I think it's like I guess it would have to be because like when the 25th anniversary concert was released, and you had Ramin Karimloo and Sierra Burgess and
Ramin Karimloo, currently on the Broadway Podcast Network with us. Hi, Ramin.
Hi, Ramin. I love you. He like, I think there's like a moment where he unintentionally has like his hand like here, and then he's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do it. It was like in the throes of passion. And I think they were like, wow, people really responded to that, so let's just have him choke her, you know? like
No. It is a choreography thing that they did. And I pointed this out in my 90-minute Phantom of the Opera review I made as a high schooler. But every Phantom goes around Christine and goes for the boob and then moves up to the shoulder at last minute. And then in the Don Juan scene where he sings Point of No Return, he goes for the boob, and that's what tells her that is the Phantom.
Oh, right.
And that is what that is. And I hate it. I hate a lot about the... I hate a lot about that one.
That's for real?
Yeah,
really?
that does happen in the anniversary tour. I blocked that. Like, ugh.
That's a yikes.
It's
right
a bad. It's it's bad. Like I have friends that work on the Broadway production of Phantom of the Opera, and I'm not, here to begrudge, their work, but it is just like, I'm sorry. And my friend Andrew does sound for
my friend Andrew does nothing, so it's all good.
I'm just here.
It's like I don't want you to lose a job. It sucks. I don't want any actors or anyone to lose a job. But like that show, like if it comes back after COVID, it really truly kind of does. Like as someone who does like the show and has seen it, like multiple times, the last time seeing it was just like so depressing. It was just like, just let this die. Like it's like The Simpsons. Like it just needs to.
Yeah, but love never dies.
Damn it! Oh, they wrote themselves into a business corner. It can't die.
What if they bring out Phantom of the Opera and they just introduce Love Never Dies on Broadway?
That's the plan. Oh, you know what? That's like not like on the scale of things you could tell me that Andrew Lloyd Webber would do. Like that is not like something that would shock me.
No. Hold on. Pitch. Angels in America style. After one is Phantom of the Opera. Then they give you dinner. Then they show Love Never Dies afterwards.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, well we saw just part 1 and it was great. We're just gonna go to Sardi's and then we're gonna come back and see part 2. It's weird hearing Angels in America and Phantom of the Opera in the same breath. They have like nothing in common besides like the 80s and like
Angels of Music in America.
And Angels in Music. Oh.
On that note, let's go into a mid-show announcement. Andrew Lloyd Webber, what are you doing in here? Oh my God!
Wow, he's really here.
He's really here in the room.
Wow.
Put your pants back on.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, Andrew Lloyd Webber, tell us a little bit about Patreon and who's supporting us.
Our patrons are Terry Edelman, Max Lunig, Benjamin Lear, Lily Ackles, John Donna, Taryn the Duck, The Fantastic Jess Lightning, Ewan Cassidy, Haley McDonald, Tess Skier, Fire of September, Mina Maniri, Monica Thoreau, Brent Black, Haley Murray, Allison Wonderland, B-Way Flicks, Nathaniel Stacy Coombe, Luna Rocks 222, Irigale Drouet Whiter, Carrie Ahern, Christine Malmadel, Mezzanine Theater Diary, Mary Lou Choquette, Ann Nunnally, Cole Birchfield, John Vanels, Holy Sticality, Russ Walker, Musical Hell, Emily Grace, Andrew Van Barson, Emily Stack, Kyle Summers, Mr. B, Janae C, Kyle, Christina Francis, Jessica A, Skylar, Liz Lim, Corey Wilmarth, Allison Stoller, Nothing is Certain Except Beth and Taxes, Ren Cullen, Thespian, Christelle Stapleton, Elizabeth Levengood, Victoria Tribble, and Alex.
They give us a little extra financial support that helps us keep the lights on here at Musicals with Cheese. If you'd like to join them in supporting us and get tons of fun perks such as patron-only commentaries, our episodes a day early, and so much more, you even get the video version of this podcast. You get to see Angelina's face during the time that Andrew's reading all those names off. So you get to see how she reacts to everyone's names.
Yeah, I had some big reactions.
You can see who she actually likes.
Yeah,
she didn't react. She hates you.
It's like really written on my face when I want you in the ground. 6 feet under. I did my makeup for this, okay? So
and
just
she
give
looks
money.
Fabulous.
Oh,
and if you guys aren't listening, if you're only listening to on iTunes, you really aren't getting the full picture. So really, you should be on our
Jess
Patreon.
is wearing a ridiculous mask, whereas I look phenomenal in mine.
That's a pretty
I have to
sweet
keep
one.
adjusting.
I can't lie.
I should have spent money on my own, but I spent it all on Andrew's. But join us on Patreon. We have our own podcast on Patreon. It's on Fosse Verdon, and we'll be wrapping that up eventually, and then we'll move on to something else. It's a wonderful, like, ever-changing podcast. We just finished up Glee, but then it got sad, so we stopped Glee.
Oh.
Too many people died on Glee, and so we couldn't really make fun of that anymore.
Yeah.
We needed to distance ourselves before we died.
Yeah.
Yes. Glee is cursed, so we didn't want to get involved there.
Yeah. Yeah, not like the opera house where there's a ghost.
Back to the show, guys!
Ah!
Let's start with Melody in Paris, where Christine just sings Melody over and over again.
It's not Melody, it's Melody de Paris.
Melody de Paris.
What do you guys think of this opening?
It feels like
I like it.
It's fine.
I like it when this song comes back better.
I like it a lot because Christine has a job and a goal and a thing that she wants. Instead of just like passively being given shit, she actively wants
literally
stuff.
does just passively get given
Yeah, she gets
shit.
passively given shit in this too.
But it's an actual goal she has. She like writes songs. That's her career beforehand.
Yeah, just selling.
I thought she was selling
She's
stuff.
selling music.
Yeah.
I always like whenever you listen to it, like the cast recording, and it's like it starts off with her going like la 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 la, and like you hear somebody in the background going like, "What's she selling?" And I'm like, "Yeah, me too. I could use it. Like, I just want to take whatever she's got, going on because she sounds happy. Give me that weed." Like it's cute. It's a cute song. Like, it's not my favorite. I don't like, that's the thing. I don't think this is a bad show. So, like, I feel like whenever I'm like, I don't like it, it's like, it's fine, you know? Like, it's fine. I think it's cute. It's a cute,
Part
like...
of me wishes I had seen the replacement cast with Robert Cuccioli, and Christine is played by Kristen Chenoweth. And I know that sounds wacky right now, but have you ever seen her as Marion in The Music Man?
No, I never have. But even just the idea of her playing Christine in this version, I would love. That sounds spectacular.
Yes, and she's very good at playing this serious but wide-eyed kind of person in a way that I don't think the person we saw in our recording was very good at.
She feels like very like soccer mommy to me, and it's just like I don't know if it's like the bangs. I don't know. It's just like
she was very pretty. Like she was very good, and she had a very nice voice.
Yeah, she's cute. Like that sounds like so. Like I sound like a sexist like 40s like theater producer. Like, yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, she's
nice
cute.
Point.
Put her on the
stage.
Like, put a cigar out in her arm. Let's see how cute she is.
Toots, get up there and sing that song cutely. Like, as I'm saying, like, yeah, she's cute. I'm like, oh no, I'm just becoming what I've hated. She's fine.
Let me just say, at least this actress did not have to sleep with the composer to get the role.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Sarah Brightman totally was just an Andrew Lloyd Webber first personality. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, it's cute. I like the I guess I like, gosh, I'm like brain farting right here. I like the little kind of like sieg into like Joseph Bouquet going down there, and it gets like that creepy haunted house music.
I'm glad we kind of tear that Band-Aid off first.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's a murderer, whatever.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Yell at us?
Yeah. It's like kind of like a lot of these adaptations, especially the musical ones, everyone just kind of like passively accepts that there's like a ghost and a murderer. Like, whereas like in the book, it's kind of like the thing that like the ballet girls are scared of, and like, you know, like no one really takes it too seriously, where everyone here's like, yeah, there's a guy in the basement and he kills people. And we just do what he says. And I'm like, you know what? You got to get the story moving. Sure. Do it.
Yes, and
he's very open about that he likes to murder people.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like it. I think this is the first time with Bouquet. He's like, oh, I guess I'll kill some.
Yeah,
it's very clearly the first time in the Charles Dance version.
Yeah.
It's less clear with Richard White, who is like, oh, maybe I'll kill Carlotta. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm wacky Eric.
I just like to kill.
It's fun. You know, just why not? Yeah, like I don't know. Sorry, I'm like just getting caught in my thoughts again, where it's like, I guess it's a preference about like, stop. It's just so sweet. It feels like Disney's Phantom of the Opera.
But he still murders.
He still murders. He still does. You're right. He does. It's Disney's murdering classic Phantom of the Opera. I think it's a really fun song. I do like when it shows up in the bistro scene, which I do love. As much as I'm like, this Jerry Herman bullshit, I love it. But we'll get to that, I guess.
Let's talk about Home for a minute.
All my life I've been waiting in my mind in a rocking chair for my fancy to take the air. I would know the time. Tick and tock went my childhood. Father said I would know the place. Skin would tingle and pulse would race as they do. It's here I'm home, where music fills the air, and I'm home where a thousand...
I love the first half of Home, like, a lot. Like, that intro into it is so pretty. And then, like, some of the lyrics are just, like, a touch too corny for me. Like, I gotta look them up now, because, like, I hear them and I'm like, look, I get the lyrics in Andrew Lloyd Webber's are just vague and could be about anything, but then there's, like, some, when you, like, go a little too far that it stops sounding like how anyone talks, and, like, that's kind of, like... So I think the song itself is beautiful, and then I like, at the end, when they're singing it together, that's fantastic, but, like, some of the lyrics I'll stop and, like, think a little too long about, and I'm like, Angelina, this is why you don't have any friends.
This is why it's great to be me, and you don't pay attention to the lyrics at all, and it's just like, oh, that sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Laura Benanti and Robert Cuccioli sing it?
No.
It is gorgeous, and honestly, it is so beautiful that I forget how much I hate the fact that too many musical theater songs have been titled Home.
Yeah. It's like, what, you got The Wiz, you've got Beauty and the Beast, you've got this, you've got Come to the Fun Home. Yeah, there are a lot of songs named Home. I guess that is such a big general want that most characters have. You might as well.
I want to go home, but this is just so beautiful. And I think the Laura Benanti, Robert Cuccioli is like my peak one that I listen to.
Yeah.
And it is so gorgeous. And that is the one I introduced myself to through this show. And it's hard for me to hear any other version. So even when I heard it in the show that we all collectively watched, it was hard for me to be like, well, the lyrics.
I'm gonna go look that up immediately because I love Laura Benanti, and I can get with some Robert Cuccioli. And I do like this song. It's just like sometimes I get tripped up on the lyrics, and like where every English horn makes me feel glad I'm born is kind of like a, this is kind of a bad line. And like he says like unfolding in polychrome. I'm like, look, guys.
But still, I would rather listen to this than any song in Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom.
That's fair. That's fair. Like, again, 100% get that view.
Even in my episode that we did with Elisa, the one I was really praising was the Prima Donna song, which is my favorite song in Phantom.
Oh, that's the best song in that show. Far away.
Except if you have a really bad cast singing it, and then it just becomes a wall of noise.
Yes. And that's what happened the last time we saw it. And we saw it with our friend Kaveh, who does not like musicals. And he was just like, what the fuck is any of this shit? I hate this so much. And he's
like Andrew.
Yes, he
might
is.
Say, who hates musicals.
Yeah. He does not like musicals.
I just hate everything. It's fine.
Look, it's a take. Yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you like want more detail, then I get that.
I mean,
but it just is like,
if you want to talk about bad lyrics, though, I mean, they don't even bother writing lyrics for the next song.
Wait, which one?
Do re mi fa sol. Fa re fa mi.
But it is the one production of Phantom where he actually shows him teaching her shit.
How to sing. I love that song. I unabashedly love that song.
All right, we begin. Repeat after me, singing on the syllable la. La 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 la. Stand up straight. Breathe. Relax. Now ba. Stand up straight. Relax. Better.
It's actually really good, but they definitely did not try with the lyrics.
They didn't. And that's fine.
Why do they need to? Like, he's teaching her scales.
Yeah. And it's pretty. I like that.
Moving
I like that
do
song.
solfege. It is kind of nightmarish.
I'm sorry, everything about Andrew Lloyd Webber's songs are nightmarish.
Nightmarish.
Are you really going to be singing, "Oh, fool, he makes me laugh, ha 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 ha"? Ah, no, you aren't.
No. But I will be singing The Beauty Underneath in my sleep for the rest of my life.
Which version? Have you heard the new version?
Yes,
that's on the
I have. I saw it. So my friend, she does audio visual descriptions for people who are hard of hearing or hard of seeing for the big theater that does all the tours in Philadelphia. So she gets tickets to things, and I get to see a lot of shows for free, and it's great. And I got to see Love Never Dies on tour, and I love how they found a way to make it even more of like a pederasty anthem than it was in the original, because it's just like, you know how like the Phantom of the Opera and the title song in the first one is like a sexual song. It's like when she does the cadenza, it's like but like they add a cadenza at the end of Beauty Underneath, like the same sexual.
No, it's like in the beginning of Beauty Underneath where he's like da 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 because he's playing on the piano.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh well. I was talking about like the cadenza at the end that they do add in, which makes it even worse because it's a 10-year-old doing the sexual cadenza from the first one.
He's gonna have an orgasm on his piano.
Exactly. It's horrifying. That was honestly one of the most fun shows I've seen in a stage theater in my life because it was just filled with like so many confused
tour,
people.
correct?
Yeah, that was the tour, and the tour was almost exactly the same as the recorded version of it.
Almost exactly, except for the Beauty Underneath. I think that the tour cast tries much harder than the cast that was on the video.
I agree. Oh my God.
I feel so bad for them up there because I saw it when it came to Detroit, which is barely a city, and they still tried their best.
Yeah. I mean, it's like It's a Living. The cast that I had was fantastic. But it was just like, I think the biggest reaction that the show got when I saw it was during that reveal of right before Devil Take the Hindmost, where like the barkeep turns around and it's the Phantom, and like that got like the biggest laugh out of the audience. Like everyone was like, "Oh shit!" You know, it was just fantastic. You can't pay for that kind of experience.
You know what that show needed?
Yeah, what?
It needed managers to throw some laughs at us.
Oh, yes, it did. Like, that show takes itself so seriously. Like, that's part of why it's such a train wreck. Like, you know,
Richard Stilgo to step in and make us laugh.
Yeah, give us something funny, I beg of you. Please, just some levity here. Because every attempt at it is quite bad. Because they have like a prima donna type-ish song in it, and it just does
Dear
not,
old friend.
Yeah, it does not work. Just doesn't work. Yeah, quite bad. But I feel
You Are Music with Eric and Christine.
I love it. Fantastic. Great song. Stan it. Love it. It's beautiful.
It is a wonderful song.
Gorgeous.
It is better than any duet in Phantom of the Opera by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and I'm willing to fight anyone on that.
That's fine. I like Point of No Return out of the context of the show, but I get it.
The thing is, that isn't even sung by the characters.
That's true.
Is sung by the characters, and they mean every word that they say.
It's like a proxy war where the characters are representing their innermost. I don't know.
Christine doesn't even know it's him until halfway through the song.
Josh. Yeah, no, it's all ridiculous bullshit, but I really like it out of context. But I do love You Are Music. I think I would otherwise agree with you that it's I love it way more than All I Ask of You, which is the most boring song ever written. Yeah.
I don't hate All I Ask of You when given to the right singers. Out of context from the show. It's like Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again. I love that song when it's not in Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, it's like you have to have like someone really sell that song for you to not be like
what time is it? Why is she going to her grave? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Just fill it in yourself. Fill in the blanks. Yeah, I love You Are Music. There's like another song. I'm trying to remember which one it is that I really like, but I guess when we get to it,
we'll come to that. Andrew, what do you think of You Are Music? If you even remember that song happening.
I liked a lot of the songs in this one.
That is not the answer to the question I posed to you.
I don't remember specifics here. I liked Home. I do remember that one. I liked the music lessons in the fugue. And I really liked the everything at the bistro, because I think the bistro was phenomenal.
The bistro scene is, I think it is better executed in the movie, but I love it in the show.
Let the contest begin.
Sing, can you sing? Can you sing a little ballad in between the salad and the tender? If only we can hear a melody. Shout what you want, make it lyrical and vocal, popular and local. Judges take your place as chorus, you will do the harmony. Harmony,
Tonight we will sing only songs about Paris. I will begin the competition. Paris is not a stroll in the park, a bagatelle. Paris is a chance to find while in France la vie plus belle, as charming and almost as gorgeous as me. Is Paris, is a Paris.
I agree with that. Like in the movie, it's great. I love the piece they use. I love the opera that it's from. So I'm like, cool. But I like it in the show a lot too, because it's just fun to sing. You know, sometimes something is just fun to sing and like listen to, and that's what the bistro is for me.
What do we think about where the end of Act 1 is placed with Where in the World? Yeah, because that's the one thing where I'm like, are we sure about this?
Yeah. Is that the end of Act 1? I thought it was like when the Shakespeare or the Titania thing happens.
It's right after the Titania thing. It's the reprise of Where in the
World. Oh, it is a reprise. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm like,
reprise, forgive me.
Yes.
Brent Black taught me that it is reprise like Febreze.
Yeah, reprise, Febreze. Reprisal. Yeah, the act ending is kind of like, Like, it should have just ended with, like, him taking her away.
I mean, that's the one times where I feel like it's trying so hard to be Andrew Lloyd Webber when he, like, has her on a boat and shit. I'm like, you didn't need this.
Yeah, and it's a really goofy... Like,
it started feeling kind of knockoff Webber, like they wanted to be compared.
Yeah. Like, it feels... And that boat looks like the boat in, like, Monty Python and the Holy Grail when, like, Arthur and Patsy get on a boat and, like, go over to that castle at the end. It's, like, a very...
And where was the boat before? He never took her on a boat before.
Yeah, like, it's just... There's boat, and it feels... Yeah, that feels, like, very much like, hey, you liked Andrew Lloyd Webber's boat. Have we got a boat for you? Like, yeah.
It's boat time.
Yeah, just, like, yeah. where the show kind of splits the axe is kind of, like... It's kind of like, I don't know, it kind of saps a lot of the energy out of it, to me.
I heard you liked boats, so I put a boat in your boat. So
I heard you like boats, so I put a boat in your boat. And, that joke never gets old. I love it so much. Yeah, I feel like, I guess, again, it's kind of like how you like the dynamic between the Phantom and Christine to play out.
I like it a lot. I don't like it when it's non-consensual. I love this version, and I love the Charles Dance version.
Wait, you like the Susan K one, though.
I like parts of the Susan K book version.
Okay.
It is not perfect.
One of these days, just have like a bonus episode about Susan K's Phantom.
No. You and I will talk about the Japanese musical version of Susan K's version.
No, the Japanese musical version is just a Japanese version of this. It's fantastic, too.
There's a Japanese version of Susan K's version that has been turned into a musical.
What?
Yes.
How many versions of this
it is
freaking
all women,
story
and
are there?
It is an adaptation of Susan K's version.
No way, because the Japanese one was an all woman. It was the Terakuza one, and they did the Yeston and Kopit one, and it's hot.
No. That one is great, and I've seen that one. But there's another one all about the Susan K one.
This is okay. I'm like literally writing this on my phone right now because this is something that I'm like, I need this in my life
and it's great in moments.
In moments. Okay, sorry, I'm done taking
Just
my
like
note.
the book itself, it's great in moments.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with the source material is that it's great in moments. And
well, the source material literally doesn't work as any type of media outside of that book because it is a mystery novel and we all know what the fucking mystery is.
Yeah, exactly. The Phantom's a man.
I have posited an idea and I have pitched this to my producer friends in Detroit of making a feature film version of just like taking the fact that we all know what the twist is and making it like he's a literal ghost. He's got a weird face, but he's a literal ghost, and he's got a very consensual relationship with Christine, and she goes with him in the end because she just doesn't want to deal with all this. Because I can relate to that, and I've literally worked with other writers on scripts of this, and I think it would be a great adaptation.
I would love to see
What if
it.
everyone thought it was a man and then it was a ghost?
Yes, that is honestly my pitch, because everyone thinks like they know the story, and that would be the one way to get ahead of the audience.
I've got one for you. Everyone thinks it's a ghost, but it's actually a really smart dog.
It's Wishbone.
It's Wishbone!
They've done that already.
You know what? Like, reeling it back to adaptations of Phantom that I like, it's the Wishbone episode. There we go.
Like that. I do like that episode.
That's a fun episode of Wishbone. They got it. They managed to, compact that into like 10 minutes, super speedy, in and out, had a dog in it. Fantastic. Loved it.
You know what? That was a very good story of the Phantom of the Opera, but you know what else was a very good story of Phantom of the Opera? The story of Eric, which is the ballet sequence, and I love that scene.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They do a good job with this one.
Yeah, the dancer that they had was great.
I cried when I watched it earlier today, and I was just like, I have not been that emotionally attached to a ballet scene since like the ballet from Carousel, which is just like heartbreaking because she's just bullied for like her dad being a piece of shit.
Yeah,
and I get that because I've seen what her dad did.
Yeah, her dad's an asshole. Oh, Carousel. It's a lot to unpack in that one.
We tried. It's like being hit by an angel, as we've said many times.
Oh boy.
Problematic content.
This guy's a bad father in this.
He is. He's like a real shitty dad. It's like,
he's like, oh, he was so ugly that I gave him a mask.
He thought he saw a sea monster, so I gave him a mask, and he didn't think he saw sea monsters anymore.
I didn't like tell him like, hey, that's your face, that's what you look like. But it's okay.
You didn't say like, look, this is what you've been dealt with, and I'm here to help you. You just were like, yeah, cover that shit up.
Cover that. No one wants to see that shit.
No one wants to see that. Get that shit out of here. No one's
show that
looking
to
at
a woman, she's gonna run screaming.
Yeah.
Now, Angelina, you yourself are a fan of the book and the Andrew Lloyd Webber version. Do you not like this because the mother actually liked Eric's face?
That's not like the hugest thing. I think it's more of like having a foundation of love kind of makes the character incredibly different.
I disagree.
We're just gonna have to like bump
the
up against
Persian
here.
is a foundation of love.
Yeah, the Persian is a foundation of love. He is like this is like a totally tangential conversation for a different time. But that is the true romance in Phantom of the Opera is the Persian and Eric. Like that is the true that is the true romance of the ages in that book. And I have the fan fiction from high school to prove it. But
really, that's your ship?
Yeah, I was super about that in high school.
I was a big Valjean Javert shipper, so I guess.
Yes!
I was also a Cosette Eponine shipper, so I had other issues.
That's sweet, though. That one's like kind of sweet. It's like they like realize, look, Marius is kind of he sucks. Let's go and have some woman-loving woman fun.
Well, the specific fanfic I read was like Eponine replaces the letter Marius wrote. Instead of just hiding it, she wrote her own letter, and then they have their own AU. It was real cute.
Sweet. I love that.
I feel like the rebel leader with no name is
Andre.
kind of gotten some. Yeah.
Andre and Grantaire.
Yeah, you all say that's his name, but he doesn't have a name. They don't say
This is very true.
But he's my ship with every character in the show.
Yeah,
I
I mean, that vest will take you places. Like, he's got that sweet ass vest.
He's got the passion.
He's got the passion and the vest. you don't need anything else. You got a good sweet threads and like just eyeballs like popping out of your skull from passion.
We should talk about "You Are My Own," which is the best song in this show.
You are my son. Do you know you are my son? You became my whole life when your life was begun. Do you know that the man who protected you always has been your father? Yes, I know I'm your son, and I'm more than surmise. I have known for some years that my eyes are your eyes, and I've wondered how long it would take you to tell me.
I don't like this song.
And it makes me cry when I watched it. Like, literally, when this song happened, I pulled up Andrew's Facebook Messenger and I was like, I did not expect to cry for this show. Because I was
It's really not that sad.
I
It's really
was
not that
so sad. Because I just, like, 3 days before, because to prepare for this, and I wanted to have my preparation and research done, I had rewatched the Charles Dance version. Mm-hmm. And I've always liked that version. Mm-hmm. It has always been, like, compared to Herbert Lom, it is, like, a little rude to the text.
Yeah. The Herbert Lom one is just like, the Herbert Lom one or the rat fucking one is the worst one.
I kind of like the rat fucking one.
The rat fucking one is kind of so ridiculous. Yeah, it's kind of like so ridiculous. The Herbert Lom one's just boring. Like, it's boring and it's bad.
Like, he is a daddy figure in that, where he's like, he slaps Christine because she didn't get the notes right.
Oh, right. Yeah, he does do. Oh, yeah. It's bad.
I know so much about Phantom. Goddamn.
I know. When I think about, like, the things that I've, like, it's like, you studied so hard in college and you worked really hard and, like 4.0 GPA in high school. And, like, I retained none of that, but I can talk about Phantom for, like, hours. That's sad.
How I felt about 2 weeks ago when for our 100th episode, we had a trivia contest and I had someone come on and, like, arrange the questions. And I was like, all right, you majored in musical theater. How hard do you think the questions are? And he was like, these are so fucking hard. And then I got in and I only got 2 wrong. And he's like, oh no, I didn't realize how intense you were. I was like, oh, I guess I do know who Marnie Nixon is.
Yeah. This is my life. I just sit here thinking about Elizabeth Taylor and a little night music, and and
crying myself to sleep.
And apparently half of all the musicals that exist are this story. So
yeah, that's what happened.
If you know a lot about musicals, you know a lot about Phantom of the Opera.
Pretty much.
You're not wrong.
That's basically. I mean, like to go back to an earlier point, it is as much as it is like about like a serial killer. It also is, you know, diegetically kind of handy for writing a musical because it's set in a theater and you can get away with like some diegetic stuff that would feel really silly and otherwise in a show. So I think that's why people are kind of compelled to it. It seems like easy fodder. I don't know. I'm just projecting here.
But I love this song so much, and I really don't understand why you guys don't like it, and I'm really sad now.
Jess, do you live in your father's basement?
I mean, in a way.
Don't we all live in our father's basements?
I also do. This song made me cry.
Not even that, just like the idea of like begging, like on the bridge of death, begging your dad to bury you in a way that no one will find you and parade your corpse around because you're so ugly. Like just those ideas and all that. And like having that one person that understands you, so like understands how much that your relationship with this woman meant, that he's like, yeah, I'm not going to turn you in, but shit's gotta end soon.
Yeah.
It is so emotionally palatable in a way that nothing
The
in
Phantom
Andrew
killed
Weber
like
way
2
is.
people at this point.
I agree. I'm not saying he's like the best person in the world.
This is how they dealt with these kind of things back then. You know, you parade the body around. I mean,
put Macbeth's head
are
on
you
a stick
gonna
and
take
show it
that
around.
away?
Yeah.
Are you gonna take Benito Mussolini's body out of that gas station? I don't think so.
We went from the Phantom has killed 2 people to he's Benito Mussolini, and I love it. Man, yeah, I think it's just like, again, we're just gonna I think disagree about like having like, you know, a support system just changes the character fundamentally, and like there's that, and then like tonally some of the lyrics are just really silly, like I love the idea of like, yeah, I don't want, you know, my body to be seen, Dad, please take care of it, and you know, it's kind of like what he asked Christine to do in the book, but like it just is like the music is just so sweeping and big, and then just hearing like, I promise to never leave you on display, just sounds like some things just don't sound.
This is one of
right
those scenes that I think emotionally was handled a little better in the miniseries because Burt Lancaster delivers that line like,
he's great in that, yeah.
Like, I promise you won't be on display.
Yeah, like that
very,
works
very
as dialogue really well, but I don't think it works as like a big sweeping song line so much. So like it just doesn't sit with me that well, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Well, you are music, Angelina. So.
Oh, thank you. No, it's gonna be stuck in my head because I love that song. I was obsessed with it in high school, and I hadn't thought about it in a very long time.
Well, I'm so
prior to doing
glad that
this.
I suggested this show for you to talk with us about.
Yeah,
I forced this upon you, so to say.
Yeah, I love you. Like, hey, do you want to talk about Yeston and Kopit's Phantom? I was like, yeah, sure, yeah.
I didn't force you to do this.
No,
I
you
was
didn't.
like, hey, I don't mean to suggest this, but I've
You
kind
were
of
not
been on
the
a kick
Phantom
like this.
shoehorning me into your self-insert fanfic opera.
Okay. Oh, shit. Andrew, all right, you be the dad. Angelina, you're Christine. I'm Phantom. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay, let's do
are we
it.
doing?
What are we doing?
What am I doing?
Hey, yo, girl. I heard your voice, and I hope you don't find this creepy, but I want to teach you how to sing better.
What? Really? That's really cool, because I've been looking to get some voice lessons up in here.
All right. Now sing la 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 la.
It goes like that, right?
Now sing ba 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 ba.
I'm getting those I'm enunciating correctly, right?
All right. Time to put you on stage. Let's go.
Oh
let's go.
shit! Oh fuck! Oh no! I did a dingus.
Oh,
I
you
fucked it
fucked
up.
it
I
all
fucked
up.
it up.
That's
what
I
it's
fucked
doing.
it up. I fucked it up. Take me down to the basement and show me your weird forest.
You're down here. Do you want to see my face?
Oh yeah! You know, your dad was kind of like dunking on you to me like 10 minutes earlier. He was like,
What
"Yo."
did you say?
He's like,
tell me what you said.
He's like, "Look, the family history, like our house is kind of a fucked up mess here."
Look, the Phantom, he's an ugly boy.
Oh.
And I gave him a mask because he's hideous
Oh.
and he sucks.
Wow, that's kind of like, it seems kind of irresponsible to use a father figure, but I'll roll with it.
He's also kind of like a weird murderer man that lives in the basement. I won't let him out. I would probably stay away from him.
Oh, what was his mother like?
Oh, she was the best. I may or may not have killed her. I don't know.
Oh, cool. Thanks for that. I'm gonna go have a weird picnic in the fake forest with your
Let's
weird
have a
son.
picnic, Christine.
That's the thing
great.
I told you not to do.
Oh, right. He told me 5 minutes earlier not to have a picnic with you because
It's
you were a
okay.
hideous
It's
piece
okay.
of...
It's okay.
What?
I'll do
you like...
anything for you. Literally anything. Just ask it. I'll do it. I promise.
I like wine. Can I get some wine? You got
Here's
some
your
William...
wine.
Yeah,
Here's your-
cool. You got some William Blake poetry going on?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go.
It's like I'm in
There's
high
your
school
wine.
literature.
Let's go.
Wow, I'm in 10th grade poetry
hold on.
class all over again. Just
There you
talking
go.
about William Blake.
There's
Okay.
some Jesus juice for you. Let's
Oh,
go.
thank you so much. Hey, can I see your face?
No! How dare you? I mean,
Oh no!
if you sing for me, of course I will, but no!
Oh, well, like, what if I tell you that, like, look, I've seen your eyes, so I've seen your face, right? Because that's how it
Let's get
works.
this shit off. Let's go.
Oh! Ah! What the?
I told you he was an ugly boy.
Oh, you did? Damn, I should have listened to you. That would have saved me a lot of problems,
Oh,
man.
she hates me.
Yeah. Look, I think he's dead now.
Dad, bury me underground, please.
Sure.
Hey, I don't.
Never gonna leave you, son. Go on underground. No one will see your ugly, hideous body.
Yeah. Hey, I see that
You're disgusting.
Yeah, it's really awful. It's quite ugly. I see that you're dying here. Just so you know, before you die, I don't like you that way, but the music was really good.
The end.
Do re mi fa sol fa mi re do.
All right, everyone. What is our overall thoughts on Phantom, an American sensation, and our cheese rating?
Before, real quickly, you don't get to call yourself an American sensation. Anyway, you don't. That's not a title you give to yourself.
Andrew, you're first.
Sure. Well, I thought I liked it okay, but then I found out that there's like 800 million Phantom musicals, and I hate it now. This show fucking sucks. Phantom is a terrible story. Eric sucks. Basically, I don't like it. I actually didn't hate it, and I was a little bit surprised that I didn't hate it so much, because I was expecting it to just be literally knockoff Phantom, and it kind of is, but it does it so well that it's like, oh wow, it's like almost just Phantom again. So okay.
That's a ringing endorsement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it rises to its mediocrity, and it's perfect in that way. And as far as cheese goes, I mean, I forget what I gave Weber's Phantom, but I'm going to give it the exact same cheese I gave that one.
Great, you're going to make me re-listen to that. Thanks, Andrew.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes, of course it is,
Cool.
Angelina.
So I've been saying throughout this the whole time, I think it's just a matter of preference, where I don't think this is a bad show. I just think it's kind of like, if cheesy is like, it's bad, but it's enjoyable because cheese is delicious, even though it's bad for you. This is like corny for me. Like, corny and cheesy.
Well, corn is also delicious and bad for
It
you,
is
so.
true, but the food analogy really doesn't hold up. But it's like, it's not cheesy, it's corny to me. Like, it just doesn't quite, I don't know. I think it's fine. It's a fine show. Like, I'll just leave it at that. And it has some really good numbers in it, and a lot of, okay, like, don't think about it too long. But again, the same thing could be said for the Andrew Lloyd Webber version, because it's just a flawed source material. The cheese that I would give it, I'm just trying to think of like a really nice American cheese, because it feels like very much an American book musical with the cheesiest source material possible. So I'm going to call it American cheese.
All right, Bree, for someone who hasn't seen it, I'm very interested in what your thoughts would be just on this discussion.
You guys...
Just rate our discussion.
I think you gave it was a great discussion. The end was very chaotic. I don't really...
Good luck editing,
yeah.
my warning.
My ears are going to love you.
Oh,
I don't know. What's a chaotic cheese?
Ooh, like some sort of blue moldy thing.
Buffalo
like,
cheese.
Yeah, like a blue cheese or something that's moldy, but tastes great.
ringing endorsements.
Yeah.
All around.
It tastes great.
Everyone loves this show.
Cheese.
Yeah. I don't.
Jess, what do you got? This is your favorite music of all time, so
That is not what I said.
No, like you were just like, oh, this is the best musical ever. Sondheim wishes he could. Like we all heard it. I don't know.
I
about
would
you.
have loved to have seen Sondheim try to take on Phantom of the Opera. Technically, he could have.
Yeah.
I mean, it is public domain, and anyone can do whatever they want with this product, which is
he
kind of
might
rare.
still do it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe that's what he's working on right now.
Yeah, it's like Bounce is kind of a pipe dream. Let's just move it right. Go right, Phantom.
No, he's working on some like Mexican filmmaker adaptation.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, maybe he's just like, you know how like they'll call a movie that's like got a lot of hype around it something entirely different to like blow off.
Like
press.
Tenet, which we'll never get to see.
Yeah, he's basically writing Phantom under the guise of something else.
What if he
excited.
releases like his musical and it's just Phantom of the Opera?
It's literally the exact same, and he's like, whatever, I'm in my 90s, you can't do a damn thing, I'm a legend.
I'd like to see you try to sue me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, come for me, Pink Floyd. Come for me, Puccini. I'd like to see ya. Yeah. I hope. He's for hero passion, so we got it.
I give this, there's a hold on 1 second.
So did you like the show?
Now that I finished shitting on this thing you enjoyed.
I really like this show, and I didn't expect to be as emotional as I was. It might just be the place I was in my life, where I'm just trapped inside, and I'm like, I want my daddy to hold me and tell me he won't bury me so shallow underground that people have to see my ugly face.
Oh, you switched to a Batman mask, but you have a very nice face.
Oh my God.
Everyone here does. Okay.
Thank you so much. I feel like everyone here is so beautiful, including you, Angelina. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm
But
gonna put
I
that
am-
on my LinkedIn. Endorsed by music.
I've been blocked by my friends on LinkedIn, which is a fun anecdote.
I didn't know you could do that. Wow.
that is for another day.
Yeah.
One of my close friends, though, like that's one of the sad things.
Damn. Well, now that I know that, I'm just gonna go and start some real microaggressions on LinkedIn.
That
and
is
start
the
blocking
best
people.
type of microaggression because it takes some work to find out you're blocked on LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, who's looking?
But no, I
Editing?
am giving this a cheese plate from Cheeses and Mary, spelled with a U, so it's Cheeses and Mari Yeston. Because this is very specific to them, Yeston and Kopit, and I think they're great because I kind of like 9 and most of their other stuff.
I like 9. I'm not huge on Titanic for a lot of the same reasons. That
I like Titanic in some ways, but mostly it's bad.
I watched it for like the first time a couple months ago because I'd only ever listened to it, and like I saw like this semi-professional production of it on a VHS. It was like rough. It was for when I was doing the Titanic episode with Lindsay. I watched it, and it was just like, it's kind of everything that I had all my beef with this show, but like 8,000 times worse. I can say that I like this show. I don't love it, but I like this show. It's flawed, but that's fine. But like Titanic is just like, except for like the one Mr. Andrews song at the end, but like it's just like corny.
So is
it's not
Yeston and
cheese.
Kopit's Phantom, but that's kind of why I like it.
And I respect that.
I prefer to Andrew Lloyd Webber's. Andrew Lloyd Webber's is very much a product of its time, which was the European invasion of Broadway.
Yep.
And I don't think it has aged very well, where I think Yeston and Kopit's musical has aged beautifully, like fine wine. I think it is beautiful right now. Like, I would love to see a Broadway production of that when the Phantom, not if the Phantom doesn't open again.
Yeah. It's going to have to compete with my Broadway adaptation of Phantom of the Paradise.
I would watch that though.
Yeah.
I wish that what's his name? Paul Williams?
Oh, Paul Williams? Who
Yeah.
did the music? Yeah.
I want him to come back and write it as an actual musical instead of as a jukebox musical.
I know. He's got clout now. He's got clout again because he's been doing like a lot of like cameos and stuff lately. It's
Yeah,
just-
he was just in Baby Driver. He
Yeah,
was
exactly.
great.
Baby Driver. I was like, oh, hey, why are you here? I don't know, but cool.
Angelina, why don't you promote all your stuff out for us so we can get this all over with?
Oh my gosh. So you can check the work that I do with Lindsay Ellis on her YouTube channel. Just Google Lindsay Ellis. We have a really fun episode coming out next. It's going to be horrifying, but fun.
Oh, can I have a sneak preview of that?
We are
please?
talking about the Omegaverse, and that's all I'm going to say. It's horrifying, and it's a not safe for work thing to search. But there is a New York Times article written about it that is safe for work, but it will blow your mind. It's called, let me see, I have it actually pulled up right now because I'm working on it. It's a feud in the wolf kink community. So just, I'm going to leave it at that. But so that's our next episode. I also write for PBS's It's Lit. It's a YouTube series that they do. And we just had an episode about War and Peace come out that I spearheaded. I'm really proud of it. And
see our
we have a
episode
musical
on Natasha Pierre and Great Comet of 1812 if you want more info on that.
We surprise, we're having an episode about book to musical adaptations coming up soon. So, yeah. And you can please follow me on Twitter at @YAngelinaY if you like just horrifying things, because that's where I'm most present as someone.
She talks about her poops a lot, and it's great.
I talk about my what a lot?
Your poops a lot.
Oh, my poops a lot. Yes, I thought you said something else. I was like, I do. I mean, yeah. But yeah, YAngelinaY is my Twitter handle. That's where I'm the most present. I'm behind the scenes and all the other stuff, but you can follow me there. I love just hanging out on Twitter. So yeah.
I swear to God, my relationship with Angelina, outside of this podcast, has been hey, my girlfriend, look at this.
My original handle wasn't YAngelinaY. It was something, I forget what.
It was Sandor, a Game of Thrones reference.
No, it was a David Bowie reference. And
was
then
it?
My actual username was a David Bowie reference. It was changes. That was what it was.
Gotcha.
And then I changed it to YAngelinaY because I wanted something that you could identify who I was, because I change my handle so often. So I was like, YAngelinaY, because I just make nightmares. And the fun thing has been having so much feedback of people going your Twitter username makes so much sense. Why? So if you like that kind of content, follow me on Twitter at YAngelinaY.
Oh boy. All right. You
Anyway.
know who definitely should follow you on Twitter? Our wonderful patrons. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah!
We're on Twitter at Cheesy Musicals. Our Patreon is Musicals with Cheese. Our Instagram is Musicals with Cheese. Our YouTube page is Musicals with Cheese. We have a podcast currently all about Fosse Verdon, where we're just going to talk about Fosse and Verdon once a week.
Nice.
And specifically the TV show by, what's his name, who directed Hamilton, that I met once at a very awkward, very drunken meeting. Tommy Kail, that's his name.
Yes.
Shoot us an email at musicaltheaterlives@gmail.com. Our incredible title card, newly updated by Jolene Casco. Please follow her on Instagram at Jolene Casco. She's an incredible person. This show is produced by Brianna Jones, who is incredible, and I want her to say hi right now. Brianna, we love you.
Hi, I love you too.
I love you so much, Brianna. Thank you to the Broadway Podcast Network for having us on this platform. It is really great, and we love you all so much. All right, folks, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this all up?
Big thank you to all the wine that Jess drank to make this a great show.
Hold on, let me finish this.
There he goes.
How many bottles is that?
Throwing
Jess?
it back.
Keep going, keep going.
Oh, I got a little bit left.
Andrew, you are
He can't even
bad
tell how much
influence.
he's got in there.
I
terrible
drank
influence.
this one for the Batman one that
Oh
we
my
did
God.
earlier. And
He is wasted.
Oh my God.
I drank this much up to this point through this one.
Guys,
Phantom. I mean, when you're talking about Phantom, you gotta have wine. It just makes
I
it go
don't
down
think
easier.
I'm that incoherent.
No.
You don't think you are.
Brianna, you know me in real life. You've met my girlfriend and all that. How incoherent am I compared to usual?
you're pretty coherent, I would say. But I'm sure when I go back and listen to it, you'll be slurring.
No, you
What
sound
know
great.
about Phantom is
It made me cry. I was thinking about my dad.
My daddy too loves me.
I just want an English horn, and that makes me feel glad I'm born. That's all I gotta say.
And on that note, we'll see you next time on Musicals with Cheese.